Hello everyone! And today I finally have an opportunity to cover one of the most insane and hilarious news I've heard for this whole week, and I'm sure that you already heard something about it too. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to release it the first time I learned about it because I was in a business trip sort of thing, and I had other videos that I prepared for you guys beforehand. But now I am finally back, so I am ready to tell you everything to know about the upcoming Skibidi toilet movie, which is rumored to be directed by no other but freaking Michael Bay. And if you somehow don't know who this dude is, he is basically responsible for creating the whole Transformers blockbuster movie franchise. And trust me, I'll talk about this franchise and Skibidi toilet series pretty closely later in this video, because the connection between these two is crazy. So in today's video, I'll cover all the information I have so far about this whole news and what we should expect from this Skibidi toilet movie in the nearest future. And I'll also tell you how exactly the non-fans of Skibidi Toilet series felt about this news, and trust me, this was really hysterical for me to watch. Now get your tea and snacks ready, and prepare to watch this video to the end because I saved the funniest part for later as always. And let's go. Okay, but where did it all actually start from? So the first bits of information that Skibidi Toilet series is actually about to get its own high-budget Hollywood adaptation started appearing on different social platforms this week. For example, on Twitter official news accounts started posting this news around July 24th. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, plenty of people, even myself included, thought that it was some sort of late April's fool joke at first because, well, that sounded pretty damn surreal for everyone. So here's what kind of news titles I woke up to a few days prior to making this video. Skibidi Toilet film is in the works from director Michael Bay, and we'll try to guess what kind of reaction I had to that. So at first I thought that I must have been still sleeping and having some crazy dream again, which happens to me a lot, you know. So I just logged off Twitter and went to sleep again. But then I checked some other news sources and realized it wasn't anyone's fever dream or something like this, but actually real news. So I started rethinking my whole life for a moment. Skibidi Toilets and Michael Bay? Man, Hollywood really want those bucks, my friends. And then I started investigating even further because as hilarious as this news was, I just had not only to find out whether it was 100% certified, but also how and why Michael Bay out of all people agreed on this deal. Because, well, you know, Skibidi Toilets, everyone. This is not some classy James Bond franchise to develop from. Although anything can happen, I must admit to that. Okay, and here's what I found. So the main and most trustworthy source I managed to get was, of course, the newspaper of The Variety, which had an article that was basically a recapture of the Strictly Business podcast featuring former Paramount Pictures president Adam Goodman, who is the pretty real Hollywood figure with an actual reputation in that sphere. And here's what I've got from that exclusive interview that he got to The Variety. So basically, he stated that Skibidi Toilet is already an enormous digital phenomenon in the form of not only YouTube videos, but also shorts and even fan-made games. And now it actually has a potential of becoming the long-form content source as well. So Mr. Goodman stated that the potential of turning such a monstrous YouTube series into movie adaptation format is not only profitable as hell, but also has a chance of getting the wider audience. Because Skibidi Toilet series is huge not only in YouTube and TikTok, but also on Roblox and even Steam. And all these platforms already give the creators of Skibidi Toilet products an opportunity to get the pretty heavy bag as they have monetization. So surely Hollywood producers started heating up like crazy when they realized that. And this is still pretty hilarious to me because we should remember how it all began with an 11-second YouTube video uploaded by Boom, which would later evolve into over 70 mini-episodes depicting an escalating arms race between Skibidi Toilets and the Alliance. And I'm not even counting all the other present or potentially new races from Thus universe. So of course this whole formula is really appealing to Generation Alpha, and that's exactly what Hollywood producers need right now. Well, at least that's how I personally see it. So yeah, that's how it all basically started. Despite not studying Skibidi Toilet series like the Bible as we Skibidi analysts do, Mr. Goodman saw what's in store in there pretty quickly. And he got to realize what's best to do quite fast as well. He realized that to make a fulfilling and captivating movie about huge robotic titans fighting with other gigantic creatures sitting in metal toilets, he has to choose some special director. Most preferably the one who is capable of making huge, epic action scenes that look awesome and expensive on the screen. So yeah, who could have thought he would choose a guy who filmed Transformers right? You know what, guys, now that I'm thinking about it, I see much more sense in this choice. Goodman even said he's building something that could be the next Transformers or could be a Marvel universe. And well, that's a pretty bold statement regarding the thing called Skibidi toilets. And what's even crazier about this whole thing is how Goodman said that Boom himself and Michael Bay are already sharing a word between each other regarding the upcoming production of the movie. I will say that Michael and Jeffrey Beecroft, who's his longtime production designer and a colleague of his that's worked with him on all of his movies, have been working very closely with Alexei to really professionalize the kind of back engine of this, to make sure if we ever decide to go film or television, that this is kind of lifted beyond just the resources that creators have on the internet, said Goodman. So based on everything that was said, I can kind of confirm that Goodman and Bay's independent studio, which is called Invisible Narratives, really sees the huge amount of potential in the whole Skibidi toilet saga, so they will definitely try to make it as big and epic as possible. Because that's what the modern audience is craving for right at the moment. And yeah, well, I don't know about you guys, but I really missed some huge, epic, silly fun movies recently. The majority of them were pretty boring in the last couple of years, so even if this whole Skibidi toilet movie franchise will about to come out as pretty goofy, I'll still be up for it. And I think I'll be having a blast anyways. Plus, I bet we'll get a ton of Skibidi toilet merchandise as well. And what we also know about the upcoming movie is that it might be a possible hybrid aka animated or live-action adaptation with vibes similar to John Wick movie series and the film called District 9. And that sounded really interesting to me because in both of said movies the main protagonists were humans and the whole action was focused around gunfights, skirmishes, and melee sections. So how the focus is going to be center in this upcoming movie? Will we see Titans more like in Transformers, or is everything going to be focused on the agents of the Alliance just like it was in Boom's original series? And by the way, let me also tell you how karmic it feels like having Michael Bay as the director of Skibidi Toilet Movie. Because the whole YouTube series were originally heavily inspired by the concept of Transformers and action scenes from those films. And now it feels like some sort of loop at this point, as the initial creator of Transformers Move adaptation will be the one to adapt Skibidi Toilet series now. Like that's life at its best, you know, with its own twists and turns. So, of course, I'm all up for it because that's my bread and butter. And to tell you even more, I'm sure that in case the movie actually comes out into the real-life release and will get its own fair share of bucks as Hollywood executives initially intended to, the original YouTube version of Skibidi Toilets by Boom will become even more popular it already is. And who knows? Maybe Boom himself will also get more money to produce longer and more expensive episodes, both in terms of animation and plot. And bro, in this case, we all will be rolling in material to talk about and basically live our best lives as Skibidi Toilet enjoyers. So I'm really excited to see how this whole thing with Mr. Goodman, Michael Bay, and the movie will turn out because it's either going to be just freaking epic or extremely funny. And in any case, I'll be monitoring this news from now on and give you guys updates when we'll have them. Okay, and now I'd like to finish this video on a really hilarious note, because I have also read a lot of comments from regular people who were reacting to this news early in their afternoons as well. And let me tell you guys, they definitely were not as happy to hear about this movie as I am right now. Someone took this information from the philosophical point of view and wrote, Michael Bay, studying Skibidi Toilet right now, while attaching the image of cinema critics sitting in the movie theater. And let me tell you guys, that's how I, the intellectual, actually analyze Skibidi Toilets on the daily basis. And while the other people were more apprehensive as they wrote, this is undoubtedly the worst headline I've read in my entire life. And how did it go this far? And guys, I am actually pretty jealous of your lives if the news about Michael Bay making a movie adaptation of one of the most profitable YouTube video series ever is the worst thing you've ever seen. Someone tried to ask if this whole news was one big April's Fool joke, while the other GigaChad wrote, this is going to be the greatest film of the 21st century. And you know what, fellas? I couldn't express my own opinion about it all myself, so let's leave it at that. And that was all for today. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, then hit the like button below, and also be sure to write a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube and Discord channels, not to miss my new interesting videos. And that was me, ISO Toilet. See ya!